Hello and welcome to Thursday Night ProScrims. I'm Revan, and today I'm joined by Benson all the way from Europe by this magical thing called the internet. Benson, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, thanks, Revan. It's nice to be back, I guess, and you know, it feels so good, Revan. I've missed you. Last time we casted together was obviously at PAX.
Yeah, I've missed you. I haven't missed your red hair, but I missed you a little bit.
Should we bro hug it out?
I don't want to touch you.
You don't want to? Wow. So we're already back at the hostility then. We weren't wasting any time. We're going straight back to
we were at PAX,
little
and you owe me Quidditch. So until
actually,
you pay up, I
refuse
refuse to touch you.
I think you've already forgotten what actually happened at PAX. Clearly.
We made a bet at PAX. We were even going into the event. Then we made a bet, and I won the bet. So therefore, you owe me Quidditch.
It's funny because I don't remember it going that way. But if that's how you remember it, that's fine, Revan. I'm not going to hold it against you.
Too much Chipotle got to your brain, Benson. But tonight for ProScrims, we have one heck of a matchup: compLexity versus Team Kaliber. This has become a pretty big rivalry in the Call of Duty scene, dating all the way back to UMG Atlanta, where these two teams met up in the grand finals. compLexity obviously took that and secured their spot at ESWC, and they get to match up again tonight on ProScrims.
It's going to be such a good game. I've been really impressed with everything I've seen from this TK team time and time again. Every time I watch them, you know, be it online or at LAN, they just produce the goods when they need to. And, you know, that's just going to be so good looking forward. I mean, the next month is just going to be jam-packed with competitive Call of Duty. And, you know, these two teams I expect to see potentially in the final of every major tournament.
Yeah, October Madness. If you're a Call of Duty fan out there,
yeah,
you're going to be staying in your room, locked up in the man cave for pretty much that entire month. But let's take a look at the keys to victory for both these teams tonight. So I wonder, so for Team Kaliber, definitely their search and destroy gameplay. Obviously, you know, they're one of the best teams in the game at it, but compLexity, they need to answer back in that game type. And also for Team Kaliber, I have written down that they have to win their respawn game types.
They do. They definitely do. And as well as that, you know, the slaying power and working in numbers, that all comes together in those respawn game types. And, you know, we've seen they're so dominant at search and destroy. You could argue it's their best game type is search and destroy. I mean, we saw Neslo drop some serious numbers. It was like 15 kills at PAX in one game of S&D. So, you know, those respawn game types really are where they just need to make sure they pick up those maps.
And really what Team Kaliber needs is just a consistent slayer around the map. So last time we saw them on ProScrims, it was Neslo stepping it up and capture a flag, but they just need one person to step it up overall. There you see the graphic and slaying numbers and also work the numbers. Every time you see these guys in search and destroy, they're going to be trying to work the 3-on-2 advantage, the 2-on-1 advantage, you know, just always having the numbers in their favor, and then from there, mathematically, they should be able to win.
Well, you would hope so. If you work the numbers and you don't win, then there's definitely something going wrong with the team, and you need to address that very quickly. But Team Kaliber, you know, they're a top team. I mean, we've said it time and time again. They kind of appeared out of nowhere, if you will, but they have just cemented themselves as one of the top teams in Call of Duty esports right now.
Well, let's take a look at compLexity as well. We already talked about their search and destroy, but I also have teamwork and focus written down as well. So they've said in the past that they don't really try that much in scrims because it doesn't win them money, but whenever we see them in a tournament situation, they're focused solely on the game. Well, I'm gonna need them to focus up tonight, Benson, if they want to take this pro scrim.
It's interesting you say that because I always remember after PAX just how sort of demoralized they actually were when they obviously lost in that final, and they said we weren't focused, and that was what they put it down to. And that's something that, you know, if you're a compLexity fan, you've historically looked at for this past season, and you've been like, yeah, they're always focused, they're always communicating. I mean, you only need to go to a listen-in with Team compLexity to know that their callouts are sharp, they're on point, they're focusing. But as of recently, I don't want to say success got to them because I don't think that's the case at all. But they haven't been that old compLexity as of late, in my personal opinion.
Well, it just seems that when they're on their tournament run, it just seemed too easy for them. So maybe they got a little overconfident, and now teams, they're starting to catch up. They're watching their theory. They know how compLexity plays, and they're implementing some of the things that compLexity does right into their own gameplay. But let's move out of the teams, and let's take a look at the players to watch tonight. So for Team Kaliber, of course, I have Neslo. I was talking a bit about him earlier, and it's really his slaying. If he's able to step up in the slay department, things are going to be going well for Team Kaliber.
Without doubt, he was MVP last time TK were on stream, and you know, you saw exactly why. He dropped some serious numbers. Probably one of, if not the smartest search and destroy player on this game right now, in my personal opinion. He makes all the right decisions at the right times, and to be honest, if you're one of his teammates and you're looking at S&D, he's last alive. He's probably one of the only players right now where you can sit back in your chair and you can be like, yeah, Neslo's got this. Not
Yeah,
even
we're
worried.
fine. Neslo's alive. You
Yeah,
know,
he's got it.
potentially
He's
a
gonna
round
get-
win for us.
Exactly that, and that's something that I don't think a lot of teams have a player in Search and Destroy where they can just have that much faith.
Also, I have play with the team, and what that means is we're seeing a lot of submachine gun players choose to use extreme conditioning on hardpoint a lot, which that makes you play ahead of the team. You're not really working as a team. You just got one guy leading the charge, and sometimes it's too big of a gap. So if you run in and die, it seems like you're trying to be a hero. So stay with that tight-knit group, move as a unit, and also work with Stainville. So whenever we do a listen-in with Team Kaliber, when they usually have Gunjar, it's Neslo being the in-game leader. But we also know Stainville, he's an in-game leader as well. So I'm going to have both these guys work together and not try to talk over one another, but kind of, both lead the team, but they both have to listen to each other as well and trust the communication.
That's going to be key. You pretty much hit the nail on the head right there, Revan. Not talking over each other. They are both natural-born leaders, and Stainville, take nothing away from him. He's a fantastic leader. He really, really is. He knows this game. He's so experienced, and Neslo, he's kind of opposite to Stain in a way. He hasn't really got that much experience. He's kind of like a new player that really has come out and shined this year, but he still has that leadership experience. He tends to make the right calls. I mean, the amount of times we've, as casters, sat there and said, okay, it looks like TK, they're doing a 4-man push around the outside. This is really random. Neslo's called for it, and it's worked out. So, you have to kind of listen to both of them at the same time.
And he's also gaining that experience. They've been in the grand finals for a couple of tournaments now, so just event by event, Neslo's getting better as a leader and as a player. But for compLexity, I have Aches as the player to watch, and mainly his communication. We all know how Aches can get, and if he's communicating, it means that he's focused on the game, and that usually means that compLexity's winning.
If he's communicating, I'm worried for whoever they're playing against because at times you do a listening, you're like, is that even English? Like, what is he saying right there? But he is just so sharp on callouts. I mean, he's calling out gunfights that are going on across the map. He doesn't care. He's calling absolutely everything out. And you have to say, communication is key to success. And when they're on point, they're communicating well. That's definitely one of the main reasons why they're winning. And that aggression, I mean, we've seen Aches just ruthlessly aggressive. He'll run around the map. He will challenge you when he's feeling confident, and he will challenge you when you're on a head glitch. And 9 times out of 10, you should win that. But because he's so confident and because he's so aggressive, he's going to win that gunfight.
Yeah, and be aggressive was my second thing for Aches on the list. But my third thing, just straight up kill people. We all saw Aches at Anaheim. When he's on fire, he just shoots everybody in his sight, even if it's teammate. It doesn't matter. You get in Aches' way, you're going to die.
It's kind of scary. He's like the Terminator in a way.
No, that's Crimsix.
Crimsix
Crimsix is the Terminator.
you look at his teammate. He has Crimsix as well. You put those two together, it's a kind of deadly duo. I'm not gonna lie, because Aches is just, as soon as he gets focused, it's scary what he can do. And obviously, Mr. X, the coach of compLexity, what an effect he actually has on that team as well, keeping them focused. Just a fantastic coach, and also aspiring caster as well.
Yeah, Mr. X, a lot of people don't know about him, but he's one of the most winningest MLG players in history.
Did you just say, I'm sorry, did you say most winningest?
Yeah, he's won a lot.
Is that even a word though? You can't, I don't think that's proper.
It's a word now.
It's a word now. All right, I like that. Nice,
put it in your dictionary, guys. Most winningest player. One of the most in MLG history. But let's hop into the action here. So the first map in tonight's pro scrim, it's going to be Raid Hardpoint, Team Kaliber, compLexity. I'm about to start the game. Let's get the show on the road.
This is going to be so tense. And I think the key thing really here in Hardpoint Raid is, as you point out on those cards and the graphics, it's all going to be about that teamwork and the communication coming from both teams. And, we say it time and time again, it's all about that rotation, and that's key. And obviously TK essentially playing with the pickup. I know they've been playing with Stainville for quite a while now, but not playing with Gunjar, and we know Gunjar can drop some serious numbers.
Yeah, they're playing without the ping tonight, but Stainville, he's more than a worthy pickup, and they're going to be playing with this guy at G2. And let's actually start things off with Gunjar here. You see that he's still sticking to the fast hands trophy class that we're seeing a lot more anchor players use. Mr. X, he's not really a fan of it, but Stainville seems to make it work more times than not, and he does get the initial pick there onto TP as Team Kaliber. They have control of the middle hard point.
It's really interesting to see how that meta game has developed going through Call of Duty Black Ops 2. I mean, at the start of this game, you would never have expected to see someone running fast hands. You see he's actually switched out there. He's actually changed his class. He's got rid of fast hands and put on tac mask. So for me, that automatically means he's going to be a lot more aggressive. He wants to push through. He wants to get control of the spawn first. And to do that, he's going to have to dodge a lot of stun grenades.
Yeah, if you compare the classes that people used at the very start of the game to what they use now, you would have never have guessed somebody would even have a trophy system on their class. You know, out of the box, everyone was like, what the heck is this trophy systems thing? I'm never going to use it. But as I switch over to Theory, he's got 2 in his class. So trophy systems are becoming oh so important. And because so many teams are starting to stack trophy systems on their classes, that leads to players using more and more greedy classes. They're using lightweight instead of flak jacket. They're doubling up on their 3rd perk with dexterity and extreme conditioning, because if the other team is stacking trophy systems, that means that they have less tactical and lethal grenades to throw at you.
Well, what you have to remember as well is, you know, those trophy systems, easy points. Just such easy points to get. If you're close to a streak, I mean, we sort of highlighted a lot more in S&D. If you're close to streaks and search and destroy, you put on a class with trophy systems, you just throw them out. I mean, there, for example, Theory, easy 25 points, turns around, another 25 points. So if he gets close towards those streaks, again, it's just going to help him get there.
Not only that, if your trophy system takes out 1 grenade and you're thinking on your feet, you could pick up that trophy system, throw it back down, and it could destroy 2 more grenades. So you could potentially get an infinite amount of points from your trophy systems.
Exactly that. It's such a interesting point that you actually bring that up. But I'm just having a look at the score right now, Revan. 51-19, and Neslo 4 kills to his name. He's actually, I think, an assist away from picking up.
He got it there.
There's the assist. There's the assist. He picks up a Hellstorm missile now. He needs to be a little cautious here on obviously this rotation. They've left it a little bit late, and you can see all 4 players trying to flood that poolside. Neslo decides that isn't the way he wants to go. As he's getting close to that lightning strike. I mean, that can be so crucial. Unfortunately, not going to pick up there. But the amount of times we've seen a lightning strike break that basketball hill, it's just, you can't even count them on one hand.
On compLexity, even though they were down by around 40 points going into the garage hardpoint, they weren't too worried at all, because if you lock down the garage hardpoint, you get your ideal setup going, then you could easily make up that deficit, and they're doing it right here, as now they're only down by 10 points with still 25 to be had. So they've controlled this hardpoint for just about every second so far, but the one thing they're missing is score streaks right now.
Yeah, they could do with some, and I'm just having a quick look at Ake's 5 kill streak right now, and he's actually going to start making his way towards that next hill. Hellstorm missile being called in by Nezo. A little bit keen there, a little bit eager. He was trying to obviously kill the compLexity players on that transition towards that basketball hill, just try and give TK a few extra points at the very start. And you see Nezo actually trying to rotate, but Aix has got him tagged. This is going to be a key gunfight. Aix decides he doesn't want anything to do with that, backs off, pre-aims towards money, and he needs to pick up this kill, because that is going to put him so close to those streets.
Finding one on top of the stairs, but so far a smart play coming from Aix in a situation where he could have been taken off his score streaks. He wisely backs down, pushes through Kitchen, and now he's just waiting for his teammates to stack up with him. Does pick up 1 more kill there onto Netzel, but now that his teammates are with him to support him, they're going to go and break the hard point.
Oh, really intelligent play there from Aix. He managed to pick up his Hellstorm, shot the trophy system, got the lightning strike. He's going to charge the hill as well, picks up the war machine, finally got taken down, but only by Stainville and a grenade. And right now, lots of players just trying to pile onto that hill. Very close game, which is so good to see on the first of this series. Right now, 92-76. Aix still has that hill challenge, goes for the kill. Not going to happen. Shark cleans him up.
And that was a great answer from Team Kaliber coming off of the garage hardpoint. They got a good chunk of time on basketball, and I want to go ahead and flip over to Sharp. So Sharp, he's kind of close to getting some score streaks here. He's around a kill away, and he needs these score streaks to answer for what Aix has in his arsenal. Of course, Aix, we saw him, he's got the war machine ready to use, and I think he might even use a lightning strike here if his team, you know, ever lose setup with the hardpoint. But right now, they gain control, but they are down by around 27 seconds overall.
They are in theory. He's going to dive on that hill. He has a Hellstorm. He has a light strike. There's a plus 25 from the trophy system. Exactly what we were talking about at the start of this game. He's going to get himself a war machine as well. So now the big question is, once we see those war machines come out, who actually has those flak jacket classes? Because if you're not running flak jacket and someone has a war machine, well, you're going to die pretty much instantly.
Yeah, the war machine, it'll melt you if you don't have flak jacket on. But on the other hand, if you got flak jacket, then it's going to take a whole lot more shots to take you out. But you see the lightning strike also being used by Theory here. Clears compLexity off the hardpoint for just a second, as Theory, he's going to make his way back in. But Theory, he's a submachine gun guy. You see him using a double trophy as well as a lethal grenade class. When I was talking to Mr. X, we were not a fan of the submachine gun guys using trophy systems on their classes, because if you're at SMG, obviously you want to be a lot more aggressive around the map. If you got these trophies out, it's going to slow you down as you're making your push forward.
Well, you know, looking through this TK lineup, just having a quick look, every single one of them is actually using a they have something in that concussion slot, be it trophy systems, concussions. I think someone's also using smoke grenade. Yeah, I think it's Neslo running smoke grenade as well. So they're all trying to utilize as many different things as they possibly can, which, you know, trying to do it as a team is smart, but as you say, you know, you need to be aware of what roles individuals are playing. So SMG's running those trophy systems, it can really slow them down in essence. They don't want to be thinking about putting a trophy system down when, you know, they need to be trying to defend that hill.
Yeah, usually you see the submachine gun guys using the tacticals that are pretty quick to throw, you know, the smoke grenades, the concussion grenade, even maybe use an EMP grenade that Crimsix loves to use, but trophy systems, they slow you down by a considerable amount, which is usually what you see the anchor players and maybe the aggressive assault rifle guys use because they are more position-based players, so they throw down the trophy systems and they really solidify their position around the map.
Yeah, I completely agree. Right now, having a look at the score, 147 to 110, 3 minutes 46 left, Revan. It's going to be a very close game as Theory breaks onto the halfway, picks up one, going to fire the second. Can he pick up the third as well? Not going to happen. Crimsix put a stop to that very, very quickly. But again, back and forth. It's all going to come down for me, you know, that rotation towards Garage. Who's going to pick up the most points there, and as well as that basketball hill as well.
Last time it was compLexity controlling the garage, but it looks like they're going to make one more push here onto the kitchen. Neslo, he's getting pretty close to some score streaks, around halfway there now, and if he picks up, you know, 1 to 2 more kills inside the hard point, he's going to be in a good position to actually earn those score streaks, but he gets taken out by TP, but now it's Theory on a 4-kill spree. I believe he got all 4 kills with the War Machine, though, so he didn't earn that many points from the kills.
That was just such good defense there, though, you know, picking up a 3-piece on the hill. Extra 3 defense there for Theory. Unfortunately, on that rotation, isn't able to get away. Having a look at our minimap, you can see just one blue arrow just in a gunfight right now, and it's going to be Sharp. He actually won that gunfight, but he's not going to be in that hill, just doing the smart thing, waiting for Theory to catch up with him, and they're going to try and break this hill as a team.
And this is such an important hill for compLexity to lock down. If they need just about every single second to come back into this game, so they need to lock this one down perfectly, just like they did the first time it came around. So there goes Sharp, but Theory makes his way into the hard point with the War Machine, able to take out Aches behind the Lambos. And now Team Kaliber, they are contested the hard point, but along comes Crimsix, picks up the kill, and now compLexity, they control the hard point.
Theory was able to actually break that hard point completely by himself because of that War Machine. He picked up one easy kill, then just threw the War Machine bullets over towards the Lambos, where they actually weren't exploded, surprisingly enough. And Theory, again, on a bit of a rampage. He was my player to really watch out for at PAX, and it looks like he's continued on that momentum. 16 seconds, not even going to bother challenging that hill. He knows it's all about this rotation. This rotation alone could actually win TK the game.
Yeah, Crimsix is actually an assist away right now from getting some score streaks, so I'm just going to assume he's going to try to push up along with his team and try to go for an EMP assist. That's going to be the safest way to acquire those streaks. But Benson, it's only a 30-point game right now. This is definitely a game that compLexity can come back in. Hellstorm Missile being called in from 8 spots, 3 players on top, so they could flood through the pool side of the map, but they choose to fight through the top of the staircase.
Really surprised he didn't pick up a single kill there with that Hellstorm, and unfortunately Crimsix isn't going to pick up those streaks. He goes down as well. Theory replies. 3-piece for him. Hits the pistol switch on Glacier as well, and that's just completely lit up that kill feed. 221 to 162 with just around about 75 seconds left. Crimsix going to try and challenge, but TK saying, nope, we're going to try and win it on this hill. We're going to try and put things to bed, and I believe, Revan, they have just done so.
Yeah, it's mathematically impossible for compLexity to come back into the game, and this is a strong start for Team Kaliber. We were talking a bit about their respawn game types, and that's really the one area that they need to work on. So coming out strong here on map number 1, that's going to make a statement for them. But I want to go ahead and pop up the scoreboard for the time being, as you just saw Stainville earn himself some score streaks. 30 and 23 with 12 defense. Neslo on top, followed up by Theory, who had a good amount of defense, as well as Team Kaliber. They reached the 250-point mark and take out compLexity by 90 points.
And that is a huge, huge lead as well. I mean, you know, time and time again on Raid, you see those hard points go to the very, very last hill, and a lot closer than that. But TK, they don't even need to take it to that last hill. They're completely happy winning it on that basketball hill. And Stainville, 10 defends. You got Theory with 9, and you got Neslo with 12. Even Sharp with 8. I mean, you do the maths on those defends. I mean, that's just a lot of defense, a lot of kills going down on those hills.
Not only that, if you add up the total kills for Team Kaliber, they outslayed their opponent, which is not something you see every day. compLexity, they are so strong in the Slayer department, especially when you got Crimsix and Aches gone off. But it looks like Team Kaliber, they were able to shut them down and take map number 1.
Absolutely, such a good game.
All right, so we're going to be heading to a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to search and destroy on Express. We're going to see how compLexity respond after losing map number 1 on Raid Hardpoint. Stay tuned.